Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wake the hell up. Turn the volume way up because we've got tonight's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cobold, joined by my guy, Max Faulkner. Max, how'd those ass beatings feel that I gave you last week?
Really rough week for me. Really rough week. It sucked. I hate losing to you, Cole Breezy. If there's one person I hate losing to, it's you and probably Bobby. I don't know why I get pissed off about losing to Bobby. I don't know why. I don't know why I get upset about it.
Founding father.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, it was definitely a rough week. I was queefing the week, everybody. So, hey, everyone gets 1 week a year in every single season that you get 1 week. Okay, I am glad it's in week 3. I'm 2-1. It's not like I'm 0-3. Okay?
For sure.
You know, not 1-2. I'm 2-1. I still got a good record there. But yeah, you kicked my ass, Cole Breezy, and I need Kenneth Walker, the third back. I need him back into that lineup. CD, can I take? Give me 1 minute on CD Lamb. Give me 1 minute on CD Lamb. Okay.
Keeper.
Yo, CD, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you. CD, the entire offseason, you were complaining to Jerry fucking Jones about give me the money, bragging about your talent, because you are talented. We all know this. You are one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the game. You got sticky glue on your hands. I saw you fumble a ball, which happens. Ooh. It happens. Ooh. Okay, you fumble. All right. But not only did you fumble, I saw you miss you had 2 drop passes. That's not like you. And then to top it all off, because you fumbled the ball, 2 drop passes, you went up to your quarterback and started yelling in his face.
Oh.
Note to self for any athlete out there, not just the pros, don't yell at your quarterback, because you know what's going to happen? He's not going to throw you the ball then. What in the F? And then Cole Breezy, I don't know if you saw the game. Towards the end of the game, Dallas came back. They made a big comeback. CeeDee Lamb was walking. He was walking his routes. Literally. Whoa. Could not believe it. He was just a decoy. Literally just lackadaisically moving. Dude, get your head out of your butt. Go get a steak with Dak. Apologize. Go to the club. Whatever the hell you guys got to do to make up. Because you know you both need each other in order to win some football games. Me being a fan, CeeDee Lamb being on my team, my favorite, the best player on my team, dude, you got to wake the hell up, because I was frustrated after seeing what I saw last week. And again, it wasn't the fumble that pissed me off, Cole Breezy. It's walking. When you were down by 3 points. You were down by 3 points and you're walking your routes? What in the hell is that? What a prima donna, a diva. Is that Lady Gaga out there? Am I watching Lady Gaga?
Might be. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb, not on the same page right now. Obviously frustrated if he's given that kind of effort, but you bring up no Kenneth Walker, and I offered you Zach Charbonnet last week. 2 tutties, 24 points. Looks great. 2 tutties, 24 points. He's going to be available still.
Okay.
But 42-point smacking in that ESPN league. Let's not keep that a secret from the people. 42 points in that ESPN league. We also played in our Yahoo league. We played week 3 somehow.
Whatever. 12-person league.
Side league.
Yeah, side
that
league.
was a 43-point smacking. Max, 40-point beatdowns this week. That's got to hurt. But like you said, you're still 2-1 in this league. So
Cabrera, I did not know we had a 12-person league. I didn't know it was 12 people. Oh my goodness. I was wondering why, did I really draft this bad? And then I'm like, well, yeah, there's 12 people in it. Sheesh.
People. Nice to mix it up. Definitely.
Yeah,
we're in 2 leagues. We're in a 2-keeper league, and then we're in a redraft league, 12 people, 10 people. So yeah, nice to have variety in your leagues. Max, anything before we get into tonight's episode, this fantasy football episode?
Let's jump right into Cole Breezy. We got things to talk about. A lot of frustration, too.
You're so worked up about CD. Geez.
I got another player that we're going to talk about in a minute that I'm worked up about.
Oh, my goodness. But let's start here. Talking about the 3-0 teams. Let's give these teams a shout out. 5 undefeated teams remaining in the NFL going into week 4. The 2-time reigning champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Not much of a surprise there. We got the Bills, Buffalo Bills. Maybe a little bit of a surprise, maybe not. But they look damn good. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-0 again. Mike Tomlin. We talk about it every week, it feels like. Mike Tomlin, come on.
Man.
The Seattle Seahawks are 3-0. Come on. New coaching staff. Gino's looking solid. Zach Charbonnet looking solid. And
Kenneth Walker is the running back there, all right. But
we'll see.
but Zach Charbonnet is a good RB2.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, if Kenneth Walker's there, it's Kenneth Walker's job for sure.
Mm.
But the most surprising team for me that's undefeated still, it's got to be for everybody, the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh
My
my
goodness.
goodness.
We had these guys in the basement of the division. Similarity here between four of these five teams. Kansas City has given up the 15th most points, but the other four teams, they're all top 7 in points allowed. Pittsburgh, the Steelers, through 3 games, have allowed 26 points through 3 games. They've allowed 26 points.
That defense. Oh my goodness, that defense.
Minnesota Vikings, Brian Flores coming over, running that defense. They've given up 30 points, the Vikings. That's second in the NFL. The Seahawks have given up 43. That's fourth in the NFL. Bills have given up 48. That's seventh in the NFL. So similarity there, Max. What do you think about these 3-0 teams? Who else surprises you besides the Vikings?
I mean, the Vikings obviously is the biggest one for sure. I'm sorry, I have to bring them up because you know me being a freaking Chicago Bears fan who is in the bottom of the barrel right now. Unreal the way that they're playing, especially with Sam Darnold. Was not expecting that.
Whoa.
I still believe they're going to die off, but I will say that I was not expecting this start. I was not expecting them to look this good. So my bad, Vikings. My bad, Viking fans. Okay, I'll go ahead and say that. You still suck. You still suck, and you're not going to make the playoffs. All right. I got to toss a little shit. But I would definitely say Seattle. I think Seattle it would be the next team. They look great. Offense looks fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll see once they start taking on the Cardinals and they start taking on did they play the Cardinals yet?
49ers.
Yeah, 40. Sorry, yeah.
I like Seattle with that new offense, and got great weapons there. Let's look at these 0-3 teams, Max. We got 3 of them. Maybe we're surprised, maybe we're not, about the Tennessee Titans. Okay, they're my team. Calvin Ridley, he looks like he's going to be inconsistent this year because of the quarterback play. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to start him 1 week. Tony Pollard, he busted last week. I finally had the balls to start him, and he busted last week.
Yeah.
So it's all going to revolve around Mr. Mayo, Bananarama, Will Levis. And we see the crazy turnovers he's having, but we're coming up. We're coming up, and we want a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Tennessee, it's a rebuilding year for sure. Maybe a surprising team here, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, we might be a race for that basement in the AFC South. The Jaguars, wow. Trevor Lawrence, 8 straight losses. Going back to last year, 8 straight losses for Trevor Lawrence, getting $55 million a year. Get out of here. They're 30th in scoring. Jacksonville is 30th in scoring. Tennessee is 28th. The most surprising 0-3 team, no doubt about it, the Cincinnati Bengals. Super Bowl aspirations. Joe Burrow coming back healthy. But it's their defense. 26th in points per game allowed. Max, what do you think about these 0-3 teams?
Oh, man. Yeah, the Bengals can't believe it. They lost to the Washington football Queefs last night. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, though. The football Queefs don't look bad. All right. Jaden Daniels looks great. And I brought him up a few weeks here. Brian Robinson Jr. as their running back. Got into the end zone last week. He's been very solid. Austin Eckler had a good game last night, by the way, too.
Concussion.
Oh, he got a concussion, did he? Oh, well, it's only going to boost up my stats for Brian Robinson, so I'll take that. But the Jaguars, can't believe it, man. I cannot believe, that South sucks. Okay, it's the Texans. It's the Texans.
That's it.
One to lose, if I'll tell you, because I can't believe they lost to Minnesota. But the Colts don't look that great. Sorry. Yeah, they beat the Bears. Okay, yeah. Okay, Sam, gotcha. I heard you, Sam. Queef Wilson, I heard you. Yeah, Bears suck. Okay, Bears look really bad. We'll get to the Bears later. But I don't. The fact that the Bears competed, 21-16 in Indianapolis. I don't know.
Big game for Caleb. Big game for Caleb.
Yeah, I know. Best game that he's had so far. At least he's trying. We got to get rid of freaking Eberflus. That guy fucking sucks. Eberqueef for sure.
Moving along here tonight on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we got to talk about our Hades 3-headed dogs. We got 2 of them this week. That's when a player scores at least 3 touchdowns. It's happening every week. This week it was 2 guys. First one here, San Francisco 49er wide receiver Jauan Jennings. No Christian McCaffrey, no Debo, no Kittle, no problem. Because we got Jauan Jennings, 11 catches, for 175 yards and 3
Whoa.
tutties. 46.5 PPR fantasy points. That's more than anyone this year. Jauan Jennings is wide receiver 4 on the season. Only owned in 36.2% of ESPN leagues. He's the number 1 pickup tonight in waiver wires. There's no doubt about it. He leads the 49ers in targets, receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. Max, what do you think about Jauan Jennings? This 3-touchdown, 175-yard performance.
We had your boy that came on here, your guy,
Z.
Yeah, no, he brought up Jauan Jennings. Okay, he was saying, don't sleep on this guy, don't sleep on him. And this guy just put up a career game. I would be interested in seeing what happens once Debo comes back and, Kittle's healthy and all that. Obviously, he's going to drop back down. But if they're not in, yeah, this might be a flex play. So go get him. Go get him while you can.
Go get him while you can. The other Hades three-headed dog for week 3 in the NFL season this year was Los Angeles Ram running back Kyren Williams.
Woo.
Running back 2 on the week, he had 24 carries for 89 yards and 2 tutties on the ground. He caught 2 balls for 27 more yards and another score. Kyren Williams, he's RB4 on the season. He was a keeper in our league, great keeper.
Yeah.
He's going to get a ridiculous amount of volume here with all the injuries to the receiving core. He's going to get fed the ball. 24 carries here. 24 carries. I just hope he can hold up. Remember, Max, 12 missed games in the first 2 years. 12 missed games in his first 2 seasons. I just hope he can hold up. Kyren Williams, looking great. What do you think?
Oh, man. I had him as a top 5 running back this year when we were doing our running back rake and Breezy. I love Kyren Williams. Yeah, feed him. I cannot believe that win that they come back from against the 49ers. Both teams were banged up. Don't get me wrong. Both teams are banged up, but the way what's happening to the 49ers right now, they look bad. They look really bad.
Unfortunate.
But Kyren Williams is the man. Hey, how about the Rams taking on my Chicago Bears this week? Here we go.
A race for a top 5 pick right there. Those 2 teams going to be fighting for that. Oh my goodness, my oh my! Do you hear that coming in here? Do you hear that? Oh Jesus! It's the Gooses, Max.
Jeez, they're all behind me. They're just flocking down south.
Back again in our fantasy league. We had a season high 5 Gooses. This is where you start a player or a defense that gives you 0 or negative points in your fantasy matchups. We had 5 in our league. My goodness. We got to start at the top with the goose of the year, the fattest, the juiciest, smelliest, stinkiest goose of the year. Your tight end, Max. Baltimore Raven, Mark Andrews. Take the floor.
Oh, man. For anyone who has drafted Mark Andrews, you are very disappointed. And the reason being, it's not even his play. They're not even using him. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he only had 3 routes.
I got 4 written down. Written down.
Sorry, I missed one. This is a guy that was literally on every single play. He used to play every single down, it seemed like. Now they're not even putting him in. What are they doing? They're not using the tight end. I know Isaiah Likely had that great first game, everybody. Ever since, nothing. He had 1 catch on 1 target the last game. Mark Andrews had 1 target, and I kid you not, Breezy, he was standing. He looked to his right. He looked to his left. He even looked up at the freaking scoreboard. No one was there. Lamar Jackson doesn't even come close to Mark Andrews, obviously, and they had to punt it after that. I don't know what's going on, Breezy. I'm hearing some analysts say potentially that car crash that he had in the offseason, maybe it is affecting him. Maybe he is injured that we don't know about. I'm not too sure. I just don't see Lamar Jackson using the tight end at all. So if you have Mark Andrews as your starting tight end, I'm going to go ahead and say that he has to prove that he's worthy in your lineups now, because I have him out. I'm taking him out right now. I'm going to figure out who I can put in the tight end slot, but it is very, very frustrating. And it sucks because this is an elite tight end. This guy is an elite tight end. He used to be Lamar Jackson's favorite target. Have no idea why they're not using him. And Harbaugh, real quick, you were 0-2, and you almost blew a 28-6 lead. Why don't you use your damn tight end? Why don't you use your tight end? I don't understand. They're open too. I don't know, Cole Breezy, but it is very frustrating.
Very frustrating. He's one of the guys that you depend on. I'm not sure what round you took him in, but you definitely spent a premium on him. Full PPR leagues, he's tied in 29 right now. Tied in 29 in full PPR. You mentioned it, only 4 routes last week. He only played on a third of the snaps. Only was on the field for a third of the snaps. You bring up that car crash, but he's not on the injury report. I don't know. I'm with you, Max. I'm with you. On the season, Mark Andrews, 3 games, 6 catches for 65 yards, no tutties on 8 targets. I don't know what's going on. Lamar is 10th in the NFL in passing attempts. He's 10th in the NFL in passing attempts, but he's not using the tight end. You got Isaiah Likely as your backup. You got
Mhm.
anybody else? Are you dropping Likely to go get somebody?
I do have David Njoku that's supposed to, fingers crossed that he's coming back this week. I do have David Njoku on the IR, hopefully that he's coming back this week to play. Because I'll tell you right now, if he's back this week, he's in my lineup. Okay, Mark Andrews, you got to prove something to me, man. Damn it.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that, Max. Another goose. Surprising here. New Orleans Saints wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. The Saints came back down to earth last week against the
Yeah.
Eagles. Jack scooped him up, put him in his flex. He's wide receiver 26 on the season after this goose. Week 1, he had 3 for 73 yards and a touchdown. Week 2, he had 4 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. He was top 5 after those first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Max Shaheed coming up at Atlanta, at Kansas City, and Tampa Bay. Can you roll him out there in your flex?
Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. The Saints offense, they just make me nervous. I know Derek Carr has had a great first couple games, and we bragged about them last week. You're right. They came back down to earth playing the Eagles, and the Eagles' defense is not that great. So, okay, we're not sitting here saying, "Oh, they're elite." Like, really, not that really. And this was at home. They were at home, Cole Breezy. It was actually kind of a fun game, even though I have Jalen Hurts, and he only gave me 13 fantasy points.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. Thank you. But it depends on who you have. But Shaheed, I think he's a hit or miss, man. It's
Exactly.
like what three? You said the first week 3 for 75, 78 and a touchdown.
7 catches through 3 games. 7 catches
Exactly,
through three
exactly.
games.
You might get the big play. He might get that big play, but it's too risky. It's too risky for me.
A goose in back-to-back weeks for the 2022 Goose Wrangler, Queef Wilson, the Cowboys defense special teams. Negative points in back-to-back weeks. Max, the Cowboys were the first defense drafted in our league, the first pick in the 14th round. They are the 23rd ranked defense special teams on the season. At the Giants Thursday night, at Pittsburgh, Detroit. Are you still riding with the Cowboys?
I think the Giants in Pittsburgh is a decent bet. Okay, I think that you could ride them there. Definitely not the third game that you brought up.
Detroit.
Atlanta. I'm sorry, Detroit. Yeah, definitely not against Detroit. They miss Dan Quinn, Cole Breezy. They miss Dan Quinn. It is a different defense now.
Right.
Micah Parsons isn't even getting to the quarterback. Those cornerbacks, I don't know, the cornerbacks out there, I don't know what's happened. It just seems like they're not even guarding any of their wide receivers. I don't know what's going on, man.
2 stinky gooses to finish us up here. 2 kickers. My kicker, Max. Damn it. Kyrie Fairbairn for the Houston Texans. He was kicker 2 going into week 3. He scored 17 points, then 20 points. Kyrie Fairbairn actually became the first kicker in NFL history to make 6 separate 50-plus yard field goals within a 2-game span within those first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Still kicker 3 on the season. Even after that goose, I'm not worried about it.
No.
But are you worried about Eagles kicker Jake Elliott? Zach has him. He goosed him this week. Kicker 27 on the season. Are you dropping Jake Elliott?
Ooh, geez Louise. It's hard to drop.
27.
It's hard to drop him with the Eagles offense, but I would definitely look and see what is available. Okay, it might be one of those situations you can drop him. Maybe you can pick him up later. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be happy with 27, rank 27.
Let's finish tonight's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast with the waiver wire scoops of the week. It's Tuesday night. You got to go hit your waivers. Got to find some guys. It's not as good as last week. Last week we had a lot of injuries to talk about. Pacheco, Mixon, Cooper Kupp. This week it's not a lot of injuries, but just guys we gotta bring to your attention. Max, 5 wide receivers. I'm just gonna throw at you right now. Of course, the wide receiver 4 on the season, Jauan Jennings. He's a must add. My number 1 pickup of the week. 11 catches for $175 and 3 tutties last week. Also to bring up wide receiver 16 on the season, Alan Lazard. He's got 3 touchdowns this year.
Oh, nice.
The wide receiver 18 on the season, Quentin Johnston, 3
Mhm.
touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. The wide receiver 32 on the season, Minnesota Viking Jalen Naylor. He's had a touchdown in each game, filling in for Jordan Addison. Not sure if Addison's going to be healthy this week, but Naylor has scored all 3 weeks for the Vikings. Last wide receiver 35 on the year, Atlanta Falcon Darnell Mooney, one of Bobby Gard's favorite wide receivers. 8 catches for 66 yards last week after having the big tutty the week before. Max, give me a ranking of those 5 wide receivers. Jauan Jennings at the top, but then we got Lazard, Quentin Johnston, Jalen Naylor, and Darnell Mooney. Throw those guys in order for me.
I definitely would go. Obviously, the top guy, Jennings. Obviously, it's Jennings. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and and bring up Darnell Mooney. Okay,
Yeah.
eight for eight, right? It was 8 for 8, right? I believe eight
believe
targets,
so.
8 catches.
Yep.
Hey, Kirk Cousins is throwing you the ball, man. Darnell Mooney's not bad. He is fast. I remember on the Bears, he had a season that he had over 1,100 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been like, I don't know, 4 touchdowns or something. Probably nothing that great, but there was one season that he did really well. You definitely got to go get him. Naylor, I don't know enough other than the fact that he has 3 straight touchdowns, which is unbelievable. I still think Sam Darnold is a queef. Okay, so I feel like they're going to come down to earth very soon. So I'm not jumping out of his seat about Naylor. But Quentin Johnston does look like the number 1 option right now for Justin Herbert, elite quarterback. I know Quentin Johnston, he had another touchdown, but he had 2 catches for 45 yards on the touchdown. The 2 catch scenario doesn't excite me. Okay,
Yeah.
So get those up a little bit, but
they're not passing enough.
they're definitely rushing like crazy again, which I'm surprised with. J.K. Kenny Kawaguchi Dobbins, who still looks great, by the way. He looks good. I'm glad he's proven me wrong, by the way, because I love seeing talented players. He's obviously talented, but he's been injured for so long. But I think that would be my order, Cobreeze. You gonna disagree or agree?
Where are you throwing Lazard at?
Oh, Lazard. I would throw him before Naylor. Naylor will be last. Lazard, I still think that Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are going to click soon. Aaron Rodgers loves Alan Lazard because he was back in Green Bay. They had a little chemistry there.
Totally.
But I do think that Wilson's obviously way more talented. So they're going to figure that out together. But I still think that Lazard deserves a fantasy team, everybody.
Yeah, Lazard, pretty impressive wide receiver, 16 in full PPR leagues. But I've got Jauan Jennings at the top. He's got to be the number 1 priority out of any position. And I think I am with you. Darnell Mooney, he's getting the most targets and receptions and out of any of these other guys, okay? He is ranked the lowest of these guys, but he's getting the most volume for sure. And then I will go Quentin Johnston third because he can be the number 1. He might be the number 1.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, we're not sure if he's going to even be playing this week. Let's see. They're playing Kansas City. He got banged up again with that ankle. Then they got a bye, and then they got at Denver. Okay, at Denver, that's a tough defense. So if you're picking up Quentin Johnston, you're probably not playing him these next 3 weeks.
Probably not.
Probably not playing him. But then I will go Lazard because of that chemistry from Green Bay that he has with Ayahuasca Rodgers, wide receiver 16 on the year. That's impressive. And then Jalen Naylor. Touchdown in each game this year. That is very impressive. But once Jordan Addison comes back, if TJ Hawkinson can be healthy, if he's going to be a factor, Jalen Naylor is probably going to be pushed out.
Yeah.
Since you want to call him a queef so much, we got to bring him up. Sam Darnold, baby. Quarterback 4 in fantasy. Leads the NFL in passing touchdowns. I know you don't believe in him.
I don't.
But if you got Jordan Love that is out right now, I'm having trouble thinking of top quarterbacks. CJ Stroud has not performed like a top 5, top 10 quarterback yet. Are you going and get Sam Darnold as insurance?
Insurance, sure. I know week 5 is coming up. There's going to be some quarterbacks that are out, right? I think a few teams that are on the week 5 bye.
True.
So maybe you do slide him in for that 1 week. But I'm not starting him over C.J. Stroud. No way. No frickin' way. You want him on your team? Fine. I still think that there's a handful of other guys you could pick up off of waivers that would be a better option than Sam Darnold. It's only a matter of time. And maybe it's that week 5, where you start him, you're like, yeah, what a good pick. And he freaking queefs.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming. Leads the NFL in passing touchdowns through 3 weeks. That's impressive.
Give him that, though. Good job for the first 3 weeks. when you have someone like Justin Jefferson, it can make a quarterback look way better. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But I think things are going to change.
One running back we got to bring up. Running backs were a hot topic last week, not so much this week, but we got to bring up the running back 25 in full PPR leagues and ESPN available out there. Las Vegas Raider Alexander Mattison has a touchdown in each game this season. Zamir White, he hasn't scored yet. He's not getting the volume that we were thinking. Is Mattison a solid pickup?
Yes, I do think so, but I'm going to be honest with you. Madison's only getting I don't know. I think I saw 4 touches.
Not a lot.
It's if he gets on the goal line, they're going to use his big body to bulldoze his way in there, which, hey, you're happy with that. You're happy with the touchdown, but he is not getting any volume. You want a little insurance. Maybe Zamir White does go out, if something like that were to happen. Yeah, it's a good backup plan, no doubt. But I don't even think about starting him in the flex yet. Nothing like that.
No. Neither of those guys, Zamir White or Alexander Mattison, are flex worthy right now.
No.
Finishing up this scoop of the week segment with 2 tight ends. One tight end that you and I like a lot, Max. Tight end 3 on the season out of Notre Dame. Cole Kmet, boys. Yeah. 10 catches last week. 10 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown. We got to think about him. And then also throw in all the tight end 6 on the year for the Cincinnati Bengals. Mike Gesicki, one of the leaders of the Goose Crew.
Wow.
Tight end 6 on the year, no touchdowns. Mike Gesicki, he's top 5 at the position in targets, receptions, and receiving yards. I think we both would prioritize Kmet over Gesicki, but both these guys, what do you think, Max? They're tight end 3 Kmet, tight end 6 Gesicki.
No doubt about it, especially if you have someone like Mark Andrews, who you were just shaking right now. I'm shaking. Luckily, again, I have David Njoku that I think is going to fit just fine in the tight end position. But if you only have Mark Andrews, go get Cole Kmet or Gesicki. I got to look at. Or give me a minute on him. But Cole Kmet's good. I like Cole Kmet.
Mike Gesicki, tight end 6, top 5 the position in targets, receptions, and receiving yards. It might be something.
Maybe.
But tight ends are so bad, Max. No tight end has 2 touchdowns in the year. No tight end has scored twice, and there's only been 13 total tight end touchdowns. Only 13 total tight end touchdowns through 3 weeks. That's not a lot. That's going to do us tonight, Max, for the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. A good one, a good fantasy football episode. But I want to leave here talking about fantasy baseball, Max, because you and I are matched up against each other for, is it the 2nd time in 4 years?
Third time in 4 years. Third time.
Max and I are in the championship of our Dynasty Fantasy Baseball League. A lot of fun. We've been doing it for 4 years now, and last I looked, we're tied in our matchup.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be a barn burner. Cole Breezy has me on 2 of those. Okay, he's beat me twice, and this might be the 3rd time's a charm. I think we have the players to do it. It's going to be fun. Okay, it's going to be fun. Can't wait to see you all the way to Sunday. Cole Breezy. I said it last week. I'll see you in the championship. I knew it was going to be you and me. Right. I knew it. And hey, we're here. Let's go.
3 times in 4 years. You and I really running the league. Jack slipped in there last year, and he got one. He got me last year. So and then he really sold out last year. Dynasty league. You got teams that are tanking, rebuilding, loading up on draft picks, giving out their good players. So Jack really sent out a lot of draft picks, but then he turned around and made the playoffs again. So shout out Jack.
He's a great manager.
Our Green Bay Packer representative here on the pod. So shout out Jack. But yeah, excited for this matchup. Max is going to go all the way down to Sunday, and I can't wait. It's going to be tight. It's going
to be a tight one, Cole Breezy. Last week of baseball before the playoffs too, by the way. Ooh, man, you got the one time of the year, unless the Cubs are winning, of course, that I love watching baseball. It's the playoffs, World Series. Unless the Cubs have a good team, then I'll watch them. That's about it.